I was gonna go down there and get something to eat too. I'm like, fuck that, like, I'm cool. Yesterday, I said I wasn't gonna do shit. I ain't got time for that cold weather shit.
She said it was smooth, but she was.
Huh?
She said it was like consistent, but you could tell people was moving slow.
Right.
Got some green beans from there this morning.
Okay, I apologize for that. We're gonna speak on why we gotta start making sure that we are financially set, because they said 2.3 million be considered wealth in 2025, according to the latest Modern Wealth Survey. So if it takes that for the average person to survive, it's gonna be a lot of people who are not gonna be ready for retirement. So you gotta start building up your finances right now, because if you're not ready, somebody always gonna get ready. You gotta put yourself in that situation that you're gonna be in the top 1%. Because building wealth is an art. You know, like anything else, when you want to be good at basketball, football, baseball, you got to practice. You got to be consistent. And when I say you got to be consistent, you got to be consistent with your investing. You got to be consistent with your monthly, weekly, bi-weekly, or yearly contributions. You know, it got to be something that you got to be dedicated to. Because if you ain't dedicated to it, somebody else going to be dedicated to it. Because it's hard to accumulate $2.3 million in wealth. That means you got to be making almost $4 to $5 million consistently. Because you think about it, you got 2.3 mil saved. That's a lot of saving and investing. And a lot of people are not going to be ready for that. And then when the days get longer, when you get older, when you can't get out in the weather, when you can't work at the same level you've been working when you're 14 to 15 years old, 20, 21 years old, what's going to happen? Because most of our parents died in debt. My parents died in debt. They might not have a lot of debt, but they had some debt. And also, they didn't die wealthy. No, and they didn't die rich. No, they both had retired from Ford Motor Company. No, they had enough money that would have taken them for the rest of their life to retirement. But was they wealthy? No. Was they rich? No. But they were comfortable? Yes. They were middle class. But you don't want to be like your parents or your grandparents. You want to be extremely comfortable. You want to be able to live the same lifestyle you living now while you're working. You don't want to sit there and not have that same lifestyle. You don't want to have to take a second job to pay your bills, your mortgage. Matter of fact, by the time you get 50, you should be praying that your house is paid for. That should be your main goal. You shouldn't be taking on no debt after 50. A stream that you might lose. Now, you get a car, 40, 50,000, 5 years to pay it off. But you taking out a 30-year mortgage, they're going to eat up some of your wealth. They're going to eat up some of your retirement. You don't want to do that, because a lot of people doing that. I know so many people who did that before, that sit there and made a big purchase when they're in their 50s, some maybe close to 60. You shouldn't do that, because you don't want to be paying on shit. Who said it? Agree. Hello, I can't see your name. Right, Sapper. Because think about it, you in your 50s, middle 50s, and you taking on a big ass debt for 30 years, that's ludicrous. Cause how long do people, what's the street element? How long do people think they're gonna be living? Then you don't want to leave this item out here to somebody else, and then they can't maintain the property that you left them. Then it get lost in foreclosure. Because some people can't take on no other debt if their house not going to be paid off. So just say your mortgage is $3,500. You die, you leave that mortgage to somebody else, they might can't afford it. Then most people going to take out a HELOC, a home loan. So just don't put yourself in a financial situation. You know, at a certain point in your life, you got to start saying, okay, what I'm going to be doing when I'm 60? Do you want to be working at 60 and 65, making excuses talking about you like working? No, you don't like working. You got to work. Now, it's different. You work for yourself or whatever, but once you working for people, don't nobody like working. Don't nobody like punching the clock. That's bullshit. And then you ain't going to have a lot of energy. Once you get off work, you go home and get in the shower, you got to go to bed at 65 and 70. Then most people are not going to be in good physical conditioning. You know, how many people you know that still work out at 60, 65, 70? Some people haven't did no working out or anything, running, conditioning since high school. Now you're 60. You haven't trained in anything for heart health or keeping yourself in shape for 40 years. Well, y'all better be listening to this. God, I appreciate it. Because think about it, bro. If a person, if they telling you how much you're going to need, just say you 30. If they saying right now to retire and be comfortable, you need 2.3 million, right? Just say you retire 20 years from now. What you think you're going to be? It's going to be 5.6. Then it's going to be 30 years from now. It's going to be 6. It's going to be 7.8. I appreciate it. And people don't realize that because time is going inflation, interest, all that shit is going up. Housing is going up. Cars are going up. Nothing getting cheaper. And we're not making the wages like you think you are. You're not living good like the people did in the 70s and 80s and 90s and even early 2000s that worked at factories. You're not living that lifestyle like them because they can have 2 luxury cars. Mom didn't have to work. Father could be the only breadwinner working at Ford, and they still live comfortable. You can't do that now. Both of y'all got to have income coming in. The average house in the suburb is $350 plus. If you in Atlanta, California, New York, it's going to be $500,000 plus. I'm coming 30% of my income to my retirement account. Good job, Dad. Okay, anyone reading this, bless me with a meal today. Homeless proof. If you homeless, where you living at? Where you at, KC? And then my thing is, if you homeless, where you live at, bro? And also, see, I do the same thing. At first, I was doing 10%, 20%. Now I'm up to 47% of my income to 50% of my income going to investment each year. Because I'm very frugal now. I don't do a lot of shit. I do treat myself out to eat once a week. And that's not a big bill, but I don't have no car note, I don't have no house note. I don't go out. So only time I do go out, 3 or 4 times, not go out, but only time I really travel 3 or 4 times a year once I get my income tax back. You will get there. You will get there, Cole. How many people you know right now, if they be truthful, when most people are not going to tell you the truth, but if they be truthful, how many people you know right now are saving, investing 30% of the income? Majority of people are living check to check. You can Google it while we on here. Maybe 88% of your friends are living check to check. Also, there's 101 people here. Can everybody please tap the screen? Tap, 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 tap. Let's get them lights up. And also the follow for follow. So you in here, please start following people. Make sure they got an open account. Make sure the account ain't closed. Too many aren't saving. I know you're right. No, they ain't, because my parents wasn't savers. Now, did they have money in their pension and all that? Yes. But how long that going to last? Then you get your Social Security, you don't get anywhere from $1,600, $2,200. That is not no money for you still to be trying to make it in society. Even you make $40 an hour nowadays, which majority of people are not. So just say you make $40 an hour. No, we're just going to say you make $100,000. They're going to take off 40%. Now you're down to $60,000. Then you got to pay your mortgage. You got to pay your car note. If your wife ain't working or whatever, you paying all the bill, you broke again. You living check to check. You don't even have money to start investing and saving. Why you think people make $100,000 now they living in the hood. They not living a comfortable lifestyle. I'm not counting on Social Security. If I get it, cool. If not, I'm all right. And I'm the same way. I'm not counting on Social Security. See, my generation gonna make it because I'm 60. The next generation, you're in 30s and 40s, you might not see Social Security. I'm gonna make it. And then Social Security is a scam. Most people are gonna retire at 70 now. Retire 3 years, 4 years later, you die. So Social Security only gonna have to pay you a couple $1,000s for the service you done gave them. You done gave them millions. Yes, it's a Ponzi scheme. It's a hell of a Ponzi scheme. And people don't see that. But that's a system we got to pay into. We ain't got no choice to pay taxes. Now, that's the shit we supposed to be protesting about. All this other stuff, the ICE stuff, the immigrant. No, man, let's go ahead and protest these goddamn taxes that y'all making me pay. Because you really break it down. If you work 12 months out the year, if they taking 40% of your money in taxes, that means you actually work for 4 or 5 months for free. You gave them some free slave labor. Yeah, taxes are horrible. Think about it, you live in California. They taking 50% of your income. So you gonna tell me you want me to work for 6 months free? And the average person working for 4 months free, but we don't sit down and process that. So they got us in slavery for free. It's slave labor. See, people don't sit down and process that. Why the fuck is I'm paying you taxes on my money that I worked hard for? Let's make this make sense. I make $100,000, I should be able to take that shit home. Who I'm paying taxes to? Why am I paying taxes? Then you take our tax money and give it to other people, other countries. And you give it to migrants and immigrants. Not just that. Look at your cell phone bill. Buy a set of tires. Have internet. Almost everything is taxed. Yes, everything taxed. Like you say, I'm on the phone. My cell phone is fucking taxed when I get that bill. You ain't gonna get a $50 bill. That shit gonna have tax and tax to it. And all other kind of service. Even the gym I go to, they call a maintenance fee that they take out of your account each year. I'm like, how the fuck you taking a maintenance fee out my account each year to maintain your business? Every gym do that. If you go to a resort, you go to a hotel, you go to Vegas, it called a resort fee. How the fuck you taking money from me for a resort fee? Let's make this shit make sense. But we sitting back and protest about the dumb shit, but let's protest about that. Come on, y'all, let's power tap. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's tap, y'all. Let's tap. And also the follow for follow. It's 65 people here, so go on the wall and follow the host. And the host will follow you back, and y'all start following each other on the wall. It's new revenue stream for the government. They charge $5 for sending you your statement in the bank. Right. They charge you to send your statement in the bank, and then they charge you a maintenance fee on your bank account. All this shit is a racket, man. It is here for a design. They give you enough money for you won't go berserk. But they don't give you enough money from working to be wealthy. If you go back from the turn of the century, you can almost get wealthy from working. Even a bank gave you 10% interest on your money. Your ass ain't gonna get 1% at the bank now. You're gonna get 0.5%. The banks used to give you 10% on your money at the banks. Now the banks are investing your money, they getting the 25%. They only gonna give you 0.5%. I gotta clap back in. I'm glad I came across your live. Take care. You take care too, I'm gonna follow you. Would that say dad? Yeah, I got you. Dad Cash. So you gotta understand the bank use your dollars to loan other people. Yes, they do. So what they do, whatever money you put in there is not actually just sitting there. They're going to loan that money out and charge interest on it. So it's a good hustle. Even with the credit card, it's a company. They give you a Visa card that don't have no actual money in the bank for you, but you can go use that plastic, that fake money, make a purchase. They pay the purchase, and you got to pay them back the full amount plus interest. Everything is rigged against us. Don't want to tell people, you got to start investing your money. You got to start saving your money. Your money is not for you to go out every weekend. Taco Tuesday, First Friday, all this bullshit. Your money is not for you to take a trip you got to put on the credit card. Buying clothes, putting that shit on the credit card. That ain't what your money is for. And if you do use that credit card, you should have enough money to pay that purchase off at the end of the month. And most people don't. And then it's sad that you work hard to be broke. Because like I said, you can look it up. 0% of blacks leave anything for generational wealth. And what they mean by that, they not saying they not leaving you an insurance policy or a car or a house. When they mean by generational wealth, within 6 months to a year, the money that they left you gonna be gone. I thought I like easy, great info. Thank you. All them cabarets and white and black parties, that's the new hustle. Yes, but you look at the bar scene, even the cabarets and all that stuff. You look at the scene, nobody on the dance floor no more. Now they got this high price bottle service. The food is high price. So a lot of people are not going out anymore. People are not buying cars. You don't see nobody at factory getting overtime like they used to. Everybody is penny pinching. Who buying cars right now? You go to any car lot, that motherfucker filled up with new cars and used cars. I remember back in the day, a car salesman is not gonna run his ass outside. You pull up now, they gonna run outside in a blizzard. Nobody's selling them, so nobody making the money anymore like they used to. So everybody is struggling. That's why the economy this, economy this. It's by design. No matter what president gonna be in, it's by design to make you go broke, but not so broke that you ain't starving where you have an uprising. They're like when I'm in the shop, I usually look at stuff about money. And then sometimes I might put on some cartel shit because I like the history of them. But I really don't look at a lot of stuff on TV unless it's about money. Even when I'm working out, I'm listening to financial programs. Because money rules the world, so I need to know as much about money as possible. I don't care about who got unalive. I don't care who hustling. I don't care who having sex. I don't care who's stealing and robbing. I care about how I'm going to get some motherfucking money. And that might sound grandiose, but it's not. Everybody need money. I can't be online talking to you right now without money. You can't do nothing without money. You can't breathe. You can't drink. You can't walk. You can't talk. You even got to pay for water. Water used to be free with little kids. They market it and put it in the down bottle and sell it to you. And you still got to pay your water bill. When we were little kids, you didn't have water bills. Certain bills you didn't have. Now you got a water bill. Now you're buying water. Everything now is a hustle to keep you poor. You notice that every 2 or 3 months, they got a new item out there for you to buy, and they pump it into society. And they pump it into society. Keep telling people Donald Trump don't have anything to do with the world's shenanigans. No, he don't have anything to do with it, C Smooth. No, he don't have anything. Because you look at what Donald Trump did for the country the first time, and then when Biden came in, Biden took the inflation up and the interest rate up. And the gas prices went up. And your housing went up. Which I'm happy it did. I'm happy home prices went up. I'm happy rent went up. So I'm going to say he helped me. But what about the person who ain't in my situation? He didn't help them. That's why I tell people, man, start researching, start studying, because we at the point now, we sheep, we followers. I'm gonna show you a prime example. We all seen what went down with Don Lemon. Don Lemon is just a gay dude that always complaining and acting like a female. And he think he's smarter than everybody, but he say some of the dumbest shit you listen to him. So he's not a true journalist to me. A journalist is gonna always speak the truth. You can't be biased. Help me, I paid $178 for gas. I just paid $220 for gas at Sam Club. So the gas price is going down, but people is not going to talk about that. Now they're going to talk about the Minnesota, but they ain't going to talk about the fraud. They ain't going to talk about Epstein. Every week they got to find something to distract you. And that's the Democrats. Instead of the Democrats say, hey, let's work with this dude. If he failed, the whole country failed. But they don't think like that. They're like gangbangers. They all jogging for one block, but at the end of the day, in 36 months, he got to get that block up. But you should be working with this dude. That's why you got to watch your political leaders. Now, we're going to go back to Don Lemon. He's so narcissistic and think he can do what the fuck he want. He went up in a church and basically took it over. him and some goons. Now the Justice Department coming out with charges on him. He will be getting indicted. It's called the FACE Act, and they got also the 1861 Ku Klux Klan Act. It's two laws that they got an act that they can charge him with, and he can get up to 20 years for looking like a damn fool because they going on their emotions instead of him being a true journalist and not being biased and put out the right information. They all going against him because they paid puppets. So now when they start bringing up charges, he gonna look like a fool. Now they make a video. I didn't do anything. They just trying to use me as a scapegoat. No, bro, you went up in that church. If you so damn smart, you should know you can do that. The police can't even go into church to apprehend me. If I'm on the run, the police can't even go into church. The army can't go into church. That's why they always try to, the cartels and all these people try to run and get in churches. If you look at Cartel season 1, when they were trying to put the cartel together, dude was showing the boy how he made plants with the ganja. He was on a motorcycle. He ran up in the church. The army and the police could not go on there. So his boy pulled up, act like he didn't know him when they got him out of the church. They can't nobody go in a mosque or a church in the military. You see a war, they don't even try to bomb it. Those are world laws. You don't see too many churches and mosques get even damaged through a conflict. And he got to notice everybody who got some damn sense know you cannot go and take over a church. Manuel Noriega, when the United States government was trying to get him an invasion of Panama, he went up in the church. He was in there 3 or 4 months. Then he said, F it. He finally turned himself in. What they kept doing, playing loud music, making a lot of noise, for they would never get no sleep. But they were not allowed to go in that church. So now Don Lemon facing these charges, and who gonna come to his back? So if he get convicted, that means he gonna do at least 3 years in prison. And then the Republican get in, he gonna finish that sentence. Cause the Democrats can't fight to get him out. That's why I tell people, leave him alone. Leave that man alone. Don't put yourself in that dumbass situation. Like people like D.L. Hughley, them, they going at him. They don't realize D.L. He'll find out everything you ever did in life. He'll find out the last time your mama had sex in 65. So, yeah, they're going to pay for lack of knowledge. But the white media machine is pushing these fools because they give them a couple of dollars. Leave that man alone. Let that man be the president. You don't see the white people going in like that. They got all the black people that's in media to attack him. And they don't realize he going to flip it on all of them. So get out the way, black people. This is not your fight. What we need to do, we need to start fighting for resources. We need to start fighting for reparations. We need to start fighting for a better police policies in our community. We need to fight for a Civil Rights Act, a law for us like you gave the LGBT community and the Asian community. We need to start fighting for better school system, better teachers in our community. We fighting for the wrong thing. That's not our fight. Because when they were profiling black people, pulling out the car, beating us, what was the outrage? And we citizens, so many poor Hector Jesus out the car, I'm not going to get mad if they're illegal. If illegal, we had the right to say something, but you can take it to the courts. I'm not fighting for nobody who snuck over here. Shit, lack of knowledge. What's up, Captain? I see you back. What's up, fam? This guy said he okay with not paying his employee a living wage. You need to stop fighting, period. Hold up. I didn't say I wasn't okay with paying my people a living wage. Man, what are you talking about? Hold up, Captain Honeybee. When did I say this? Captain Honeybee, don't just come over here, man, disrupting nothing. Well, we too old for that, man. Just come over here just making up shit. When did I say I'm okay with not paying my employees a living wage? I don't have any employees. So what are you talking about? We need to build our own areas of living space, grow our own food. Yeah, okay, just say we do that, C-Smooth. But the infrastructure, how are we going to survive? All the biggest companies in the world, African Americans are getting their money from the motor company, from the hardware sector, the home improvement sector. It's nothing in America that black people own. We can't sustain. It's nothing we can do. Yeah, we can eat apples and fruit. We can grow that shit in our backyard. But most of us don't even own a house, a dwelling. So how are we going to sustain? We need them. All our livelihood is coming from white supremacy, America. They talking about Donald Trump, a white supremacist, but your boss might be a white supremacist, a KKK member, but you still going to work. We can't live without them. We need them. We need them. If they tell us we didn't have half of the part of the country, land that's still out there in Utah, Oklahoma, and all that shit, say, hey man, you have all that shit, man, we won't be able to sustain. Who gonna buy from us? Where the infrastructure at? It's too late. Now, it's too late because we let them get too dominant. So they'll never go backwards. That's why it's so hard for black people to accumulate wealth. Most black people gonna die in debt. Most black people got more liability than they have assets with their debt. I guarantee you, if you Google what percentage of people are millionaires as African American, 1 to 2%. What percentage of African American don't have stock? 83%. This is all the stuff I looked up. Like 80-some% of African Americans don't even have one share of stock. What percentage of African Americans don't have $1,000 in the bank? What percent of African Americans don't have enough money to retire at 65? This is shit we gotta break them chains. And that's not just you individual, as a collective, as a whole, as a community. We out here, man, striving for nothing. Don't want to tell people we had an argument, well not argument, debate last week about black culture. Our culture is so dead. Our culture is giving our money away to other people. You're wearing the Gucci, the Louis, the Prada. You're driving the Mercedes-Benz, the Porsche, the BMW, the Escalades. Everything we do, we give our money away to somebody get wealthy, and we stay bums. We stay poor. Because most people who wear a designer, they still live in the hood. Or they living in a house that ain't there, because you might be buying a house, but it's not yours till you got that deed. It belongs to the bank. You might have that car, but it's not yours till you have that title. It belongs to the bank. So other people are getting wealthy off us, and we still living in the same cycle of poverty. Because almost everything we own, we renting, or we leasing, or we paying a mortgage, or we paying a contract. We don't own a lot of nothing. We don't. So it's gonna be hard for us to live alone without white supremacy being in our life. We need it, because think about it. If the average person don't have, if you only got 1 to 2% of people don't have $1 million in asset, they ain't talking about liquid. We know it ain't a lot of people who got $1 million in cash, but it's a lot of people who might have $1 million in cash that's hustling. But them people is not in part of society. You said we lost as a society. Bro, the black culture is done. Because we've been raised by the media. The media is telling us how to think, how to move, and how to maneuver. The black culture is the worst culture on the fucking planet. Everywhere you go, where you see people with my skin tone, it's destruction. I don't care if it's in Africa. I don't care if you got blacks in Asia. I don't care if you got the dark skins in Mexico. Anywhere you go in Europe, anywhere, black people are extremely fucking destructive. Now, Tempo, I see you want to come in. Oh, shit. Hold on. I can bring you in, but if I bring you in, are you willing to turn your camera on? I'm not going to be talking to a flat screen. If you turn your camera on, I will bring you in. But you ain't going to have your camera on, I ain't going to turn you in. And we got to stay on topic. We ain't going to be here arguing and bickering. We agree to disagree, but all that arguing, get mad because people have different ideals. Come in here with some shit that we can use. I'm bringing you in. Well, oh, what's up, my brother?
Listen, you come from that Sonny Carson, that was respect, top of the topic, brother.
You too. You too. It's your show. Take over.
Nah, it's our show. Let's take over. You said
My
it the
man.
best way.
My man.
I've been waiting for some OGs to pull up and say, when is it going to be about time we wake up? Okay, I've been sleeping for 13 years in the state penitentiary. I got the 2 state business 3 violation. I got my kids in front of me. What we won't do for love, we should be doing it for our family. Right or wrong, Uncle?
Right. Facts.
You know how you know I'm telling the truth? I can see my son Morocco and see my daughter in heaven. You know what I'm realizing? It's a miracle that it got higher powers and not us in power. You know how I know that? With greed come jealousy, with jealousy come envy. Whew.
Facts.
You
Preach.
said as soon as you go into a black neighborhood, you don't see peace, you see destruction. You know that? It ain't Tulsa, man. I don't see
Peace.
Black Wall Street.
Preach.
We go into other people's neighborhoods to be destructive, and that's why they don't accept us. You know what we gotta realize? We do all the entertainment, so we Bojangles. If we're gonna be doing business, let's do business. Let's be the Benjamin Bennekers, the Frederick Douglass, the Theodore, what's my man name? Thurgood Marshall.
Right.
We ain't had no Colin Powell in 10, 20 years.
Right.
I'm 42 years old. I know about Desert Storm. You know what? I think a lot of dudes should sign up for the Army. Go do something with yourself. It's mandatory
Hey.
now because you know
Hey.
why?
For one, let me add. For one, where you from?
East New York. I'm in New York.
Okay. I'm from Ohio. And two, I said it before. I think every man should have to go to the military for the first 2 years when he got out of school. It'll teach him discipline. It teach
And
him
the,
respect and honor.
and the
I think
government
it
will
should be
give.
mandatory.
I think the same. I think the government will give you what they call what they call it incentive. You know what I like about incentives?
Right.
Make sure you get housing. You will get a check for the rest of your life, so you will be balanced. You have to know how to manage
Facts.
your. Let me tell you
Facts.
something, man. I did the selective service, so I only messed up when I went to prison. I'm educated fool. You know what educated fool said? Once you said Ohio, I thought about Cleveland and Yellow Spring and Danny Green. Did you see how fast I did that?
Right.
Did you see what I just showed you? I'm a
Right.
sure man. So I'm a sure man, right or wrong. You said
Right.
you come on the screen, make sure you do FaceTime. I said, let me tell you something, right? If I didn't have my father's face, I got God's face. Amen.
Right.
Am I
See
wrong?
and then the reason I do that, when people want to come in, I let people come in. We can build our accounts together. But I want people to be able to see people call. It's more people getting together. No, a lot of times you don't want to sit there and have a person in here and you don't know who you're talking to. You're talking to a blank screen, a picture. And then also, like you said, if people start having to go to the military, see, people, oh, I don't want to do all that shit, but look at the benefits. You would get paid for 2 years while you're in there. They would pay for your college. They would give you medical free for the rest of your life. They would pay for your house. They would give you a loan guarantee for a house. And they would give you a loan guarantee for a small business. People don't say, I never even used my business loan yet. I never even used my house loan yet. You know I can go out here and get a freaking house loan off the federal government? I never used my house loan. I never used my business loan. I've been doing everything I'm on now. What if I go out and say, hey, let me get this $450,000 house? I don't have to put down the closing costs. And I don't have to put down that 20%. They do all that. From being in the military. I never had a medical bill since 1984. That's 40 years. 1984, I never had a medical bill. They paid for me to go to college when I came home at Owens Community College. And I was going to Owens and Barber College at the same time, so they wouldn't do both. So I chose to go ahead and pay for Barber College out of my pocket. And I said, go ahead and pay for my education cost. It cost me more. Look at the benefits. Look at the benefit. And then if you have a child, your child get medical and all that shit, can go to college free. And you only got to do this shit for 2 years. I told a guy in the shop that to work here, I said, hey man, go to the National Guards, do that motherfucking 6 weeks at the National Guard. You go train them 1 weekend a month. That means 2 days. You go Saturday or Friday, and you Saturday and Sunday you back at the career a month. You get paid. Your kids can go to college. Y'all all get free medical. You get motherfucking first dibs on all the jobs in America. You ain't even got to be qualified. You get first dibs if you put that application in. Your kid will go to college free. Look at the benefits if you only got to serve 2 years. Don't want, let's make this shit mandatory. So when they had mandatory enlistment back before 1975, they cut it off. When they went to selective service, everybody would come home getting houses and cars off the government. They said, oh, hell no, these black people coming up. Why you think a lot of our parents and grandparents, they've been in the military, they had a house? I might be one of the only fools that I know that actually been in the military that's an old head that ain't using home loan. When Carlos come here, Mike come here, my dude Daniel Wilson, they already use theirs. My sister said, man, why you use your home loan? Because I already had property. But now I'm thinking about using a home loan and get me a piece of property outside the country. Because I fell in love with Turks and Caicos because it's so laid back. That's the vibe I love, is extremely laid back. So I can take that home loan, right? Don't have to put no money down. Don't have to do the closing cost. The government gonna pay that whole piece of property off. All I gotta do is pay the government back. Then I get into a financial strain. The government is not gonna just put me out here and make me homeless. They're gonna try to find me some resources, or they're gonna try to help with the payment, or they're gonna sit there and try to help me find a fucking job. Your bank is not gonna do that. So that's also the benefits. And also the benefit is that it'll give you an opportunity to start saving money where you're gonna invest. You can't save money when you got a big mortgage. You got a big car note. You got a big trick bill. You got a DRUGS bill. You got an alcoholic bill. You got a sex bill. You got a chicken wing bill. You got a club bill. You got a daycare bill. You got a child support bill. It's hard to save money and invest. It's hard. It's hard. And then if you join the military, whatever debt you have, they will squash it for you. You have student loans, they will squash it for you. It's a lot of benefits to doing 6 weeks. You don't have to go full term. You don't have to be in reserve. You can go National Guard in 2 weeks, in 1 week out the fucking month that you had to go train. That's on a Friday and Saturday. Sunday, your ass rolling about out of there. And you still maintain your job. And you still get paid your job wages. You can't beat that kind of shit. But this is stuff they're not telling the African American people, called that'll put us ahead of everybody. And then that'll show you how to build wealth code. Once they get your education, that part of your wealth, and then once they let you get a house, shit, you accumulate wealth and generational wealth. Because you buy a house in 2026 right now. We're going to put 30 years on that. That'll be 2056. Man, a $500,000 house might be worth 1.5 to 2 mil. Then once you leave this planet, somebody got a $2 million piece of property that you got from the government. Even though you paid it, but they help you build wealth. So they cut that kind of shit up because now they know if we start letting these black people get financially stable, we let these black people take their business loan out that I'm guaranteed to get in a home loan. Now I'm an American citizen. So they don't even really, you know that they don't even promote people enlisting no more like they used to. Because they in all the white schools. They're going to have some kind of program inside St. John's or Central where they can go talk to a recruiter. They do it in the city, but they still ain't going to give you the minimum information. They're going to give you the information and going to tell you, hey, and you go in, you go open contract, you go to this open contract, you'll be able to get what you want when you get in there. No, that's a lie. They're going to put you as an infantry. What up, dog? What up, dog?
I'm weak as fuck. I only got like 3 or 4 today. I ain't had too much to do. You said what? I was able to get a lot done in them days, so I'm like, I ain't doing that. I was like, I'm gonna just chill up here today.
I ain't come yesterday, like I said. Like I said, I ain't got no money. Motherfucker didn't hit here about 3:30. I'm out, dog. And you know, ain't nothing happening.
Sitting around like
Right. Then we almost at the end of the month. Like turn the chill or chicken balloon.
This month,
I think I do got some rent.
tends to be a little bit slower up here, but still be going.
Yeah, that's what I say, end of the month.
Weekend just did.
Man, the weekend gonna be horrible though, dog.
Because of the cold.
They ain't gonna be coming, man. Ain't nobody coming out. Ain't nobody coming out. My fault, y'all. Had to go to the bathroom. Now, can everybody please power tap? Let's tap over 1,000. Let's go, let's go, let's go. And also, let's follow for follow. I'm gonna name the people names out. Get what? ABC2, User, Cosman, Synergy, Tenderoni, Pipes, and Raymond. Hey, Tenderoni, what you mean by Tenderoni? Explain yourself, girl. Explain yourself. What is a Tenderoni? So, how do y'all feel about the economy now? Cause like, I was talking to somebody yesterday on the phone. My uncle, he just like Trump. So every time he called, I just get him mad before he get out the phone. He was talking about the economy. I said, can I ask you a question? They're like, yeah. I said, now, keep 100% real with me. I said, are you struggling? He said, no. I said, are your bars and restaurants still making money? I said, yeah. I said, why are you complaining then? He said, what about the other people? I said, you ain't worried about the other people coming. They coming in, buy them high price ass ribs. You ain't thinking about that. So don't worry about the other people. Long as you cool. See, the thing about long as you cool. See, I can't worry about nobody else's resources, nobody else's income. Because some people I'm be worrying about ain't going to go to work. Some people are going to be on Section 8. Some people are going to get food stamps. Some motherfuckers just ain't going to work. So I can't be worrying about them. If you going to work every day, taking care of your business, the economy won't affect you. It won't affect you. I've been home 20 years. The economy never affected me, no matter when Barack was in there. Who was after that? Was it Bush? I think Barack. Donald Trump, Bush. Hold on, Barack, Donald Trump, Biden, and Trump. So, the economy never, ever affected me because I was taking my ass to work every day. I was doing grown man shit. So you going to work every day, putting in them hours, the economy is not going to affect you. That shit didn't affect me. I'm not out here looking for a house. I'm not out here looking for a car. I'm not out here trying to buy the high price ass clothes. I take my ad to Sam Club or Costco and get stuff in bulk, and I live by myself. When I get that turkey meat, I split it up in 4 different bags, half a pound apiece because you get 2 pounds. I split my chicken up the same way in 4 different bags. I put enough in the bag for when I get out there, I make 2 meals when I start out. Got to do that shit. When I get my toilet paper, I get the whole big box. I leave some in the car for the shop, and the other one said I get it home, then I pass them out. So that's how you got to think. If you taking care of your business, don't worry about shit else. Don't worry about nothing else once you take care of your business. Now, everybody, let's go down the wall. Let's follow for follow. Make sure they got an open account. The account ain't private. And make sure you tap the screen. Let's tap up to 1,500. So that's why I tell people, once I start seeing the movement with African Americans, we are waking up now. Because you got a lot of people out here that making money. You got a lot of people that will talk about investment now. You got a lot of black people talking about crypto. See, one thing about the new millenniums, these motherfucking kids that were born in 2000, these little 2010 babies, oh, they smart as hell. Because they already know about cryptocurrency. They know about a little bit about the stock market. They know about day trading, swing trading. They know about the internet. They know about social media and being an influencer. Because a lot of them don't want to work. We know a little kid that used to come in this shop. He got to be about 21, 22 now, Simon. Simon got like 2.3 to 2.5 million followers on social media. He's driving a brand new car on social media. I don't think he ever had a job yet. So they know how to play the system. They got a lot of other avenues to get money. We didn't have that. So these babies born in 2000 up, they going to be the wealthy ones because they know how to play the game. They know they ain't got to punch a clock to get wealthy. Then you got people my age, man, why are you always on social media? Because I'm trying to be a YN. I'm trying to get the money like they getting it. I'm trying to build a platform. Because sooner or later, something going to break for me. Somebody going to see something that they like, then they going to go down my page and say, oh, man, okay, we might can market this dude. It's going to be something that's going to happen for me. So I'm going to stay consistent. I always be consistent at something because I see the big picture. I see Wallow came out of jail. Now the man driving up in Lambos. I see Gilly. Now Gilly driving Ferraris. I see this, so I know I can do the same thing if I stay consistent. That's why I try to come here twice a day now, an hour each time. That's why I try to post like 10 videos on all 4 platforms that are on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Sooner or later, I'm gonna get that break. When you're consistent about something, you get that break. Even in finance, you consistently put X amount of dollars in your brokerage account for 30 years, you're going to become a millionaire. But you do, I'm going to do it this month. I ain't going to do it this month. I'm going to do it next year. I ain't going to do it this year. How the fuck you going to get wealthy when you ain't playing the game? You got to play the game, and it's called consistency. That's where the discipline come in. That's where the focus come in. See, I don't use the word motivation because motherfucker be motivation. I can mess your motivation up in 2 seconds. But you can't take discipline away from a person. And then you are capable also making yourself disciplined. But some people are so disciplined and focused that you can't take that away from them. That's their kryptonite. That's my kryptonite. I'm an extremely focused person and disciplined person. If I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. Now, I might not get it done as fast as you, as smart as you, as easy as you, but I'm going to do it. And I'm going to be consistent with doing it. That's my kryptonite. Like right now, it's 12 o'clock. I got up today at 5, was at the gym by 5:30. I done worked out. I was on the treadmill half an hour. I did calisthenics. Got home, hit the heavy bag for 5 rounds. Got in the sauna. Got out the sauna. Got in the shower. Folded up my clothes that I had washed. Went to the post office. Dropped off some mail. Went to Costco. Got some food. Came to the shop. And I'm on here. Look at all the shit I done did already. And I done upload 3 or 4 videos already because I start uploading at 5:30 and I get up before I go to the gym. Once I leave the gym, that's an hour, upload another one. Then go in the sauna, hit the heavy bag, upload another one. I do it in hour increments. Now look all the stuff I got done in that amount of time. Some people still ain't even started their fucking day. They just sitting around moping and mad, complaining. That ain't how life is, man. Take care of your business. You take care of your business. You dedicate yourself to something. You get prideful. You stay focused. A lot of shit can happen. Like me, I know what I put to do this whole week. I'm not gonna get sidetracked. If I say this is what I'm gonna do, this is what I'm gonna do. What's up, Apple? I do not get sidetracked. If somebody call me right now and ask me to do something, if I go do it, it'll take me off my square. Cause even when I get off here, I still got to have an hour of Spanish I got to study. I still got to study some Portuguese and Italian. I got 2 more hours that I got to look at TV and study these foreign languages. And then when I was on a treadmill for that half an hour, I done got 3 or 4 videos in of finance. And then when I go home tonight, soon I get out of the shower, before I start eating, I might get a half an hour to an hour in of world news. And then I might sit there and look at a TV show or something. Because I like a lot of history shows and stuff like that. You know, so I look at stuff like that about history. Or like the Roman Empire, the Greeks, stuff about wars, you know, finance, you know. I like history stuff. But I always make sure I put enough time in every day to learn something that's going to take me to another level. If I learn 3 languages, even with my ALL sign language, you don't think that people are going to deal with me even I just know the bare minimum? I'm trying to learn everything that can always make me an asset to somebody. I told a person that before. Once I go talk to somebody, I'm not going to be a liability to them. Once I go talk to somebody, I don't have to sell myself. I'm going to let my product sell itself. If I tell you I know some Italian, some Portuguese, a little bit familiar with French, know some Spanish, know some sign language, know about the stock market, know about cryptocurrency, know about housing, know about group homes, know about the barber industry. Do you know how many people are willing to sit down and talk to me now? I can be an asset to them because some people might run a company or own a company, but they don't know nothing about investing. Some people might know about investing, but they don't know about cryptocurrency. It's always, and then also I used to be a personal trainer. So now I can talk to you about health and wellness also. It's so much stuff I can bring to the table. That's why I'm constantly trying to learn as much as possible because I never know who I might run across. And I want to know a little bit about everything. I want to know a little bit about everything. So now I won't feel like a fish out of water when people are talking about certain stuff. See, if I go into a seminar and it's people from Wall Street in there, corporate bankers, whatever, I can have conversation with them because I can make myself sound smart by some of the little shit I know. If I use a stock terminology, I can make myself sound smart enough to get a 5-minute conversation and then shut down. Now they're trying to read me. Because now I done shut down because I give them enough information to sound smart. Now I can shut down. And then while they putting out information, I'm learning from that so I can recite it to another person. The shit that I got, I can regurgitate it. I can give it right back to somebody else. And that's how the game go. Hey, anybody trying to come in, I do not battle. Once I get on here, I'm here talking about finance, self-help. At night, we get on here and gossip about what's going on. Last night, we had a good conversation about Don Lemon and Nicki Minaj situation. Now, I'm going to come in here later on tonight and have a conversation about Don Lemon getting himself in trouble by going under that church. See, people, you got to be smart as a black person. As a black person, they always going to use you as the scapegoat. The first thing they say, why they picking on me? Cause I'm the most known. Don't be out there, Mr. Known Guy. Don't be out there, Mr. Guy, that know they gonna get you first. Get out the way. Get out the way. That's why I tell all black people just stay out the way. Your focus is generational wealth, finance, the stock market, cryptocurrency, building credit, housing. All that's the shit we need to worry about. We don't need to be worrying about nothing else that's going on inside these shores. We need to learn and see how we can shut down the infrastructure that be in our community when we put a lot of money into them and they ain't putting no money into us. We got to find a way for black people to start getting wealthy that are giving our wealth to somebody else. We work too hard. We are a $1 trillion industry when it comes down to building and buying. Our buying purchasing power is trillions of dollars. Trillions of dollars now that we are putting in other communities, giving to other people, other nationalities. We are maybe the #1 consumer in the United States. I can't speak to other countries because a lot of people, Africa, the biggest continent, so they don't have a lot of person involved with a lot of stuff called, a lot of them is poor. But in the United States, African Americans might be the biggest consumer of bullshit, liabilities. Because we're not buying assets. We're buying a lot of liabilities. A lot. And we got to stop doing it because we want to put ourselves in a situation where we had 2.3, 2.4 mil when the time retirement or more. Because they said the average person going to need 2.3. You can't retire with $500,000 in the bank and your bills are coming out to $50,000 a year. Because you got a car note, a $1,000 car note, a $2,000 mortgage, that $3,600 a month, that $36,000 a year gone already. Then you got your food bill, you got your utilities, you got your credit card bill. So $500,000 only gonna last you maybe 10 years, maybe 10 years, and you don't want to be in that situation. You know what I'm saying? But it's sad. That's how it is. And the more you try to talk to our people about doing the right thing, some people hear you and some don't. And then some people are gonna pick it up late. But you just gotta keep talking about it. You just gotta keep putting it in the ear. You know, like I tell people, when I come online, this is my way of giving back. This is my 10% I give back. You know, even though I do give money to the community, I do donate money and buy people stuff, you know, in God's name. But I also, this is my way of giving back my 10%. Because the little knowledge that God gave me and put the right people around me, it's my duty to give back to somebody. And I really enjoy it. I really, really enjoy it. Hold up. I'm just trying to find a program y'all can look at while we talking also about black wealth. I follow this guy. This guy got a couple nice shows that going on. I really love what he's doing. Hold on, give me a second. Oh, I got it. He wants you to subscribe to his thing. I don't do that too often. So now I'm going to his channel. Like I said, dude got a great show. I love his show. Hold on, I gotta take this call, y'all. Okay, I apologize that I had to take that phone call.